Let's talk about Trump and Epstein. Facts and more facts. So let's go over some of the facts that we know. Epstein was first arrested around 2005 uh, and charged with sex trafficking with the attorney in the Southern District of Florida by the name of Alex Acosta. The that charge was pled down to 2 counts of prostitution on a state charge, not a federal charge. Acosta was the attorney, the federal attorney there, and I think Epstein was supposed to serve, I think, 13 months in, excuse me, in jail time or confinement. The Acosta, sorry, I dropped something. Acosta later became the Secretary of Labor, appointed by Donald Trump when he was first elected president. Acosta stepped down when Epstein was arrested again, and they had found that there were hundreds of tapes with clients of Epstein, young women, and with young women, so that there were hundreds of tapes. And meanwhile, Acosta had told the FBI to step down from any further investigation when he reached the plea deal with Epstein and his lawyers in 2000, in or about 2005. Then Pam Bondi later on refused to do any investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and refused to indict him, refused to investigate him. He was eventually, in around 2019, arrested and charged with sex trafficking in the Southern District of New York, where, again, the FBI found apparently hundreds or even thousands of tapes with women and Jeffrey Epstein's friends or clients, however you want to characterize that. Those tapes have not been released, and we also know that Pam Bondi referred to those tapes when she talked about this several months ago, along with the list of along with the alleged list of clients, so that the she had said that those tapes had to be gone over and protect the identity of the young women involved. There's no reason to protect the identity of the men because apparently they were tapes of people with underage women. If they weren't underage, uh, maybe there's some argument not to produce them, but I'm not sure that I accept that. So Bondi had refused to investigate it and refused to indict him. He gets indicted up in New York, and as we know, he then allegedly commits suicide while in prison, although a fellow had been in prison with him said that he didn't think it was possible that he committed suicide. His lawyer had talked to him a day or two before, didn't believe he would commit suicide and thought it was next to impossible, and that and we know that the tape, excuse me, that's been released of his last hours in prison is missing. There's about a 3 minute gap. Innocent or not, we can't say, but we know it's been reported that that gap exists. Uh, we know that the Steve Bannon, one of the MAGA people, had 15 hours of taped interviews with Jeffrey Epstein, none of which have been produced or made available to anybody. We also know that an investigative reporter by the name of Michael Wolff had, I think, about 100 interviews with Jeffrey Epstein, some of which mentioned Trump, at least in passing. Uh, that have not been made available uh, on that uh, to anybody. So that we also know that Trump had long claimed that Jeffrey Epstein was one of his best friends, and Epstein's girlfriend at the time, at one time, a woman by the name of Stacey Williams, has gone on air saying the two of them were best of friends, the two of them were up to no good, and the two of them spent a lot of time together and would talk to each other on a daily basis and sometimes more than once a day. Um, the Epstein's brother has said that the Epstein had told him that the information he had on Trump would have stopped Trump in his tracks from being elected first time around. What that information was, the brother hasn't said, and I don't think anybody knows one way one way or another what that is. But we also know that Pam Bondi had said she had a list of the clients of Jeffrey Epstein's on her desk when she talked about this several months ago, and there's a letter that she has sent to Kash Patel at the FBI accepting receipt of the list of Jeffrey Epstein's contacts, as well as a list of the women involved in the sex trafficking. The so these are some of the things that we know and are waiting to find out more. Trump has sued the Wall Street Journal for their report on his sending a birthday card to Jeffrey Epstein on his 50th birthday. Trump said that he never engaged in any type of drawings. That's been proven very quickly to be false because his drawings were sold at charity auctions that he'd had and he'd signed, and then some of those drawings are signed with the same type of pen and marker that he had typically used, or that he used in the alleged birthday greeting to Jeffrey Epstein. I suggest that you take a look at an article and find the fake interview, if you will, that Trump had written up between him and Jeffrey Epstein, because it talks about they're having a good time together and doing things together and keeping things a secret. It's quite a telling little comment back and forth that was written by Trump, if you believe the Wall Street Journal story that with respect to Epstein. Keep in mind that the Epstein story has been promoted for years by Trump and his supporters, and now that it's coming out and more details are leaking on almost a daily basis, Trump is saying it's all a fraud and it's all fake and produced by somebody else. These are what we know. These are some of the things we can surmise. There are certain conclusions you might come to with respect to this, but what I've tried to talk about and point out are facts that we know. One fact that I hadn't pointed out, well, actually two. Senator Wyden, senator from the state of Oregon, has said repeatedly that he believes the Department of Treasury has a file on Epstein relating to $1.1 billion of transactions that Epstein was involved in. I think it's Morgan Chase Bank that include wire transfers, bank payments, and all that he would like to get access to, because he thinks that the answer to a lot of this is follow the money of who financed Epstein and who paid Epstein and who paid him for what. At the same time, a whistleblower at the FBI has submitted a letter to Congress that, or at least to one or more of its members, that Pam Bondi required 1,000 FBI agents to go through 100,000 documents and find everyone that mentioned in any way, shape, or form Trump. This is what's going on, and this is the facts that we have them as of today. Draw your own conclusions.